Hello everyone, today we're gonna talk about attack ranges. Attack ranges are like one of the most important things to know like in what area like your Pokemon exceeds, either in range or melee, and knowing that is like super important. Every Pokemon in this game is labeled if it's range or melee. So why do I want to talk about this? Knowing at what range your Pokemon exceeds at is like so important for your fundamental gameplay of playing with Pokemon itself. That's like a range attacker. Range attack exceeds is like being at range, right? That's like where they're like the strongest. The weakness of like range attack is usually like if someone gets like really close. If someone gets like really close, like straight into your kissing range, that means like you're gonna get fucked, right? That's like how it is. Next to that, we have like the melee attacker. Melee Pokemon exceeds is like dealing a lot of damage at close range. That's the strength of like a melee Pokemon. The weakness of like a melee Pokemon is usually like range. So if you can like attack it from like really far away, a melee Pokemon can't do anything unless it uses a skill to like get into your face. So knowing what type of Pokemon you're playing and what type of Pokemon your enemies are playing is like so important to base your gameplay around. Whereas if you're playing like a range attacker, you usually like always want to stay at like max range of your attack range to deal like a low amount of damage. If you fight like against melee Pokemon who always want to like get close to you, you have to adjust your gameplay as like a range attacker that you always try to like stay at like max range, right? Max range is like so important because that's like the biggest strength of your Pokemon you have to play around. The moment like melee Pokemon are getting like really close to you, that means like there's like usually nothing you can do. That's like the biggest weakness of your range attacker. And if you take a melee Pokemon, that means like you have to find ways to get in with your skills, deal a lot of damage, and then get out, right? That's like usually the main gameplay of a Pokemon when it comes to like melee versus range. What's really important about range attacker is that you learn how to kite. With kiting we mean like you attack, fall back. When you're like in safe max range, you attack, and then the moment like the enemy Pokemon is coming closer, you fall back again and keep attacking, right? Positioning, how you position against certain one is like really important as like range attacker, because usually if you play range attacker, they're usually like not really tanky. So the moment enemies are able to get closer to you, they're gonna deal a lot of damage to you, especially if you play like a squishy range attacker. So position is key when it comes to playing range attack. When you play melee Pokemon, you have to think about approaches. This is like your main thing if you wanna approach like Pokemon in general, especially against like range attacker, because if you're not able to approach them properly, they're gonna deal like a lot of damage on you, right? Usually you only have like one chance before you have to wait until like you can go in again. Usually how you get in is like with like a skill which can kind of get into the weakness area of like a range attacker, right? If you fail, you're usually gonna get punished. That's why you have to like think a lot how you wanna like approach certain Pokemon or certain situations. That's why thinking about approaches, how you wanna engage like certain situations is like so important for you to like recognize and like observe. So you know like how to exploit weaknesses. At the end, it all comes down to using the strength of your Pokemon and exploiting the weakness of like other Pokemon. These like two things, that's like something you have to like pay attention to like quite a lot and try to like memorize. And if you get this like concept down of like exploiting weaknesses, then you're gonna be able to like play most Pokemon in general. But yeah, that's it with me. I hope to see you next time. Bye. Bye bye.